Hi, I'm Elie Doubleday. I'm a senior creative writing major with a concentration in poetry, and I will be reading today from my manuscript, which is tentatively titled Coloring Between the Lines. So the first piece I'm going to read is called Can You Put Together My Life Story from This? 2019. This year is a bullet, left napalm skies, left me in fragments. January, in which I anticipate my move to Indonesia as a breaking of my bubble. New home like the down of my pillow, new fear like the weaving of clouds, new anticipation like the pebbles grinding in my stomach, new less than this. February, in which I treat my OCD with exposure therapy. Told to treat it like someone else, I make it my daughter. Sail her across the wine-dark sea, tell her here the bugs bite different. Here the sand isn't contained, here clean isn't health code like we know it. Tell her here's okay. We will learn to harvest our own tears for our own good. March, in which I learn how uncomfortable it is to be Chantik. Didn't know eyes felt so constant, didn't know praise to be so focused, didn't know wonder of my susu, didn't know mocking meant to be kind, didn't know the extent of value in my hue, didn't know nothing beyond my shade, never wanted more to be Saya so desperately before. April, in which I reenact Homer's Odyssey. Skin heavy with the sea, I pass through the ocean, but it is just as correct to say the ocean passes through me. This institution made these into complicated waters, and my margins are porous. Saya tidak mau pergi on blinded ears. I am not consulted on my trauma. The doctors are not consulted on my trauma. This homecoming is a perilous one. May, in which I do not study trauma, but trauma studies me. If the world would hold still for a moment, maybe I could just get my bearings. Which is to say, sometimes my brain unfocuses and I can't remember where I am, the familiar strangified around me until I'm lost in my own life and my longing for somewhere else. June, in which I understand time as the ocean. Let me drip dry, drip away. I still hang heavy with sea. We all carry a river inside, but mine feels like a puddle shorn from a storm that is unbearable. I grieve too many things to hold. I don't care to remember anymore. I am a chaotic liquid. I have disintegrated. I am the pattern the river leaves behind. July, in which I make a lifetime dream come true. A missing companion, an inherited longing, a negative space around which I form, missing and found in silver night, for she is my savior. She spoke to me with the watery voice of the moon. August, in which I began a study in how to begin again. Found you sweet as a penny on the ground and forgot. Let you fall back to the floor. Wonder will I be lucky enough to find you again, to find anyone, to find order in my chaos, to find myself as peace, as alone, as whole, as full, as me. September, in which a word loses meaning from being repeated too many times. How many types of loss can I learn at once? Loss of family, loss of health, loss of self and body. Lost him, lost Indonesia, will lose my family dog. Loss of places known as home, loss of blood in more ways than one, loss of seasons, loss of shame. October, in which I fit bits and pieces together, make a poetry puzzle. Buy eggs, cheese, angel hair pasta, kibble, write essay on Caribbean lit, replace Brita filter. Remember class was canceled. Read Faulkner. Walk dog twice. Call home. Count people I've slept with since him. Write poems. Submit poems. Email and apologize for late essay. Email and apologize for missed meeting. Wonder which slits it is this list has slipped through. November, in which my depression is the shape left on the bed. I think I am a storm in a glass terrarium, the way I dream of my teeth rotting, filling my mouth no matter how much I spit, and wake up heavy in my own sweat, edges between me and liquid blurred beyond recollection. I find I am lonely in my glass terrarium. December, in which I wonder, do I dare admit that I am healing? The sea swashing ceaselessly scrubs the mind clean, or la distancia limpia la mirada. I look for new shades and reinterpretations, for this blue of remoteness, for prettier ways to gaze on the ways I've been aching, find them in shattered words I pick up piece by piece, collected over my lifetime. 2020. I begin again. I learn to remind myself I am not in immediate danger anymore. January, in which I forget the shape of me. My body is the whisper of snow-muddled things it has seeped inside itself. It did not ask it to stop following. We were meant to get somewhere, and it has fallen behind without visibly deforming. I tried whitewashing against sin and plague to leave it a spotless impracticality, but it is unfocused and seems only bone. February, in which I learned to know myself. This is the gentle probing of old wounds. My veins flow with glass, an obscenely optical luster, but fragile and brittle. I must revisit what has been lost in this ghost of a river, sift as through sand who I was and who I am, and choose what it is I will save for this tenacious life. March, in which I wonder when the world will start moving again. And now, this world is sick just as I learn to be healthy. We retreat and I shelter in the smell of decay and the sensual impressions of old paper. Life is on pause, so I built an alternate through the books on my shelves. Why must this healing hold still? Why, when I was just learning to love again? The next poem I'm going to read is titled, Do You Dare Admit You Are Healing? It seems impossible, sitting in rooms, talking to doctors, being stitched closed again, the healing of a heart. Cry enough tears and there is nothing left to sweat. Rage at that rosy ache in the chest, clench fists through relived memories, each one widening physical and metaphorical fissures, but which need a needle and thread. Words crimson with hurt pulse through veins, leak out into daylight, a wound-red resin heard over and over again as it drips down arms. Sitting rooms, waiting rooms, surgery rooms, how are yous, how many doctors does it take? The healing of a heart. Months and seasons of an ox-blood martyrdom sneering out of thoughts unable to be put away with their sharp edges. No one will ever be that same one, and no one can get inside to staple closed interior chest wounds that don't physically exist. So they stick to sewing the vermilion slits of your wrists closed again, as if that were the same thing. A hopeless current-colored war, time supposedly will end, but time has misplaced the promised sutures, and idioms are just tiring anyways. This heart doesn't want to be healed by time, wants a fix like stitches. Psychologist, psychiatrist, surgeon, one laceration is still open, but no hospital can tide the tepid garnet flow. The healing of a heart takes longer, not curbed by not possible, by fuck you, by please, by give up. Grief. Okay is a long ways away, a maroon throb that looks like anger from so far, that seems unreachable, that doctors try peeling like band-aids to stick on the hurt. It seems impossible, the healing of a heart, but when time was turned away, scars faded to Merlot, look bruised but are closed, tucked tight white and away. All that heartache is now just textural contrast across a body closing whole again. I inhabit my mind. I often forget there's a body attached. But I am told arrive 15 minutes early to stretch and warm up, so I move through pastels while I lie on the floor, curl my back, lengthen my legs, soften through the body. The pliés are sharp and graceful and blush-colored, and we move through the knees and the toes and raise the arms, and I find I am tight and soft gray. We tendu and dégagé, and the steel rod bones of my legs leave lilac trails while they move, and I feel them. We do rond de jambe and coupé de passe, and the second time through on relevé, and I discover my feet, bonny blue points and flexes tracing life across the floor. In the center are changement combinations, and tendrils of dawn in the palest cream slide through my muscles, stack them together piece by piece, like I'm building a block tower of my body. With pirouette our arms lead, and they are as minty as a spring bud to steady the body, and we spin only to land in exquisite stillness. We jump, assemblée, glissade, jeté, pas de chat, and suddenly I am aware of the shape I hold. There are sips of light through my limbs, and it is constant. Waking the body is neither bold nor bright. It is the slow seep of pastel. And the last poem I'm going to read is Love Song for Us. Wear me like utopia, like you could reside here forever. Plant seeds in me, grow ginkgo trees from my body, and nourish them as if their roots were your own, and you, too, were a permanent testament to my name. Water them as you would your own hunger, and in the summers let the trees shade our utopia. Nap beneath them, beneath me, bask over the roots of all we stand for, and carry your arms as branches. Come winters, jacket them with your own body, so we are one, and as they grow from me, I now wear you, and you shall be my utopia, too. Thank you.